Hi, beautiful people. I know it's been a long time. I'm sorry. It's been a very long time. It's April 7th. Just no need, right? No need to include that. But we're doing great, okay? Quarantine life, we're doing wonderful. But in all seriousness, people need to stay home. People out here doing the most, and we're just trying to stay healthy, man. We're just trying to stay healthy, okay? On our end, me and my family are good and healthy. Marquise and his family, we're all safe and at home and trying to take the best care of ourselves and of one another. Spread positive messages. Say thank you. Be nice to people, man. It's not hard. You don't know what others are going through right now at this time. It sucks. It's not a fun time, but we just need to keep it moving and do what we gotta do. We have to make certain lifestyle changes, you know. We're just trying to keep everyone in our households healthy, and we're doing the best we can. So that's a little update on us. What has changed majorly though is our curriculum and our learning styles. So I don't know if you've noticed, but other times where we vlogged and you see Marquise studying, he's just looking at the screen. Me on the other hand, I can't do that. I talk to myself, I write everything down. So basically, I'm making this video to show you guys how I study and also how I've kind of adapted to this online situation type of thing. The one thing that I can say is that's changed the most is the lectures. Since they're online, it's harder to be direct and just learn everything and get everything that I can through the screen. I don't know, it's a little weird for me. Yeah, it's a little funky. So we're gonna go through that and I'm gonna show you what I've been doing. It's a good thing though that I've waited this long, because in the beginning I had no idea what I was doing. Alright, I was a little lost. But now I've learned, and now I've developed a method, and I'm used to that method and it's working. So far it's working. So what I'm going to show you guys is chemistry, just because that's the main class that I'm taking right now, the one I'm putting most of my focus and my energy in because it's essential. But this method I use for any other class only if the professor posts the lecture up online. Because we're doing classes through Zoom now, most professors just host the lesson and the lecture and then they don't record it or they don't post it for the students to have, you know, in their back pocket. But thankfully my chemistry professor does both. So he posts the lecture up just so we could go over it. Or for example, like say you don't end up logging on to the online lecture, you can just not go to class and you'll have it, which is what I prefer to do, to be honest. So he puts up PowerPoint lectures like this. For example, this is our latest chapter that we just learned on acids and bases. I basically go through the PowerPoint, taking down my own notes and whatever else I find helpful. Afterwards, I go through his lecture, right? And he talks through it basically the whole time. So he goes through and just adds in what he thinks is helpful. Now the next thing I do, as you noticed, I have colors everywhere. I write down everything and color coded just because that's how my brain remembers things. The next thing I do is super important to me, just because I don't own a chemistry textbook. I never bought one. Why? Because there are so many free online resources. So I have an online textbook that is free. I found it on OpenStax. Marquise was actually the one to show it to me. I think everyone should be aware of this, and no one should have to go ahead and, you know, buy something that you can easily find for free online. So whatever, I'll put the link down below so everyone can have a chance to look through that. And so what I do basically is I go through the textbook chapter that resonates with the lesson that we're learning, and then I fill in little notes that they have that my PowerPoint doesn't have, because he tends to not put a lot on those. So this is the lovely textbook. It's Chemistry 2E and it's on OpenStax. Obviously the chapters aren't the same, so as you saw in my PowerPoint it was chapter 17, but in this textbook it's chapter 14, and you basically go to wherever it is you're trying to learn more about, and I basically go through this and I learn even more. What's absolutely great about this textbook is that it has a lot, all of these are examples, all of these are examples, so it really helps you learn the information in a different way that my PowerPoint just doesn't show at all, because he tends to barely put any examples up. So while I go through this, I basically add whatever else I need in like a different color or something like that, and I also write down any examples that I know will help me with the information. So I know it might sound repetitive and like you've heard every professor tell you, but honestly the best way I learn is by doing practice problems, because there is no other thing that helps me retain the information and learn it how I'm supposed to. My professor uses this other online system called ALEKS, A-L-E-K-S. We do have to pay for that. I did have to use it for Chemistry 1 as well as Chemistry 2, what I'm taking right now. And it's a bit tedious, but it does help. So essentially what I do is I take down notes and then add on top of those notes more specific information that I find from the textbook, just because it's more helpful than my professor's PowerPoints, and use colors on top of colors on top of colors. I'm a very visual learner and I have to write everything down. On top of that, I do as many practice problems as I can, and I also look up videos on YouTube. I will link some videos down below of certain videos that I found helpful when it comes to any chemistry topic in general. Hopefully those can help you, and that's basically what I do.